In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how I use the dparser plugin with Regex option. The Regex option lets me choose some fixed words, specific words that appears in the document, in the PDF document, and based on those words, I can place a signature object or stamped object on the document based on the word's location. So I have here a manual that explains how to work with it. Also with non-English characters, let's call it like this. I can use some tool called the Unicoder, and there is a document here explains everything about it, but I'll also do a video to make it more simple. So the first thing that I need to know that the document is readable. What I mean by readable, let's just get rid of those two. If I open the PDF on Adobe Reader, I can read it, okay? It doesn't mean that I can copy the text. Maybe the text can be an image, can be a graphic, can be hidden, can be some special font that only Adobe Reader can read it. So not every text that I can see in Adobe Reader, also other programs can parse and use as regular text. So to see if I can read the text in Concord, if I can based on words of these documents, I can do a simple test. The simplest test is just to copy. I'll try to copy. Sometimes I will not be able to copy even the text. If it's in a graphics or image, I'll try to copy it if I can and paste it in a program like Notepad++. So here I can see that I cannot recognize the Thai characters. Okay, I cannot recognize them. And another option, which I actually need to use this tool when I'm using non-English characters like Thai. I have this Unicoder, so I can load. Let's open this document. I'm choosing this invoice. The example that I'm doing is on this document called invoice. And once I load the document, this little tool is trying to parse the text with the same tools that used in the Concord. So I can see also here that I cannot parse the Thai text. I cannot based on the Thai text, Thai characters with the document. So the first thing to check that if my document has a readable text outside Adobe Reader or outside a special PDF reader. So in this case, I can see there is no readable text in this document. So for this demonstration, what I can do, I will open it. I will open the document in Adobe Reader and I'll print it again. File, print. I just choose DocuPrinter and I'll just print it. And I will go to here and I will call this document invoice after DP, DocuPrint. So I'll save it, and sometimes in some cases, not of course not always, but in some cases, this is just my settings for DocuPrinter, ignore it. In some cases, the document, the text will be readable after the print. So let's open the printed version. Same file, almost same size. This is after print. I'll open it copy this text, paste it here, and voila, I have the Thai characters. Same thing if I load it to Unicoder. Invoice after docker print, and there is a Thai text. So when I'm using regex, I need to base on PDF that the text can be readable outside Adobe Reader. So let's say I have this document and it's produced in a readable way, or it was going through printer or converter, and I have all the text, the Thai text, readable outside Adobe. So let's say I want to put 2 stamps on the document. Let's say 1 stamp in here and 1 stamp in here, and I want to be based on this Thai text, which I don't know what it is. So financial officer. Let's take a little bit of, okay, get rid of the quotation marks that I got from somewhere, and let's say I want to be based on this text for the first signature. So the secret here is working in baby steps, slowly, 1 step at a time. Okay, you do 1 step, you check it. Not to run all the process and fail, and then start to think, where have you failed, why it's not working. Baby steps. So let's try to find this text inside the document. So I'm going to Unicoder. I've already loaded the document, and I will try to find this text inside. I know it's not to be around here. Yeah. Okay, without the quotes. What the heck? Okay, I think this is. Oh, okay. Once I marked it here, I can see it already here. And then I click convert to get the Unicode data of these Thai characters. So I'm copying this Unicode, and I'm going to Concord. And in Concord, I'm clicking edit config file. And at the config file, I'll search for the word deep. Okay, so first of all, I have these 2 modes of parsing. I have deep, which is the default, and regex. So for this demonstration, I want to use, of course, the regex parsing mode. And now inside I have these phrases, which is array of strings, and inside here there is 1 string ready to receive my phrase. So I'll paste this Unicode that I've copied from here, which represents this word, which represents the word here, which represents the word from here. So now I'm expecting to open Concord and get a signature object exactly in this position, where his lower left corner will be aligned with this character here. Okay, so I'll save config file, and now Concord is saying to me that I must restart Concord for the changes to be applied. So I'll close it. I'll just go to the documents and open this, open with Concord. So I have one signature exactly where I expect it to be. So we done one baby step. We have this signature object aligned with this word here. So the next baby step is to, based on this word, I want another signature to be for this word. So let's close this one and go back to my document, and it's like a W and Lamed and Ein. Let's go here near receiver signature. I'm going back receiver signature. Here I can see, already can see the word. This word is right here. So I will mark it, and when I mark it, it will copy here. I click convert. I have the Unicode representation of this word, which is this word here, which is this word here. So I copy it. I'll go back to the config file, and now I have in one phrase, I need to add another phrase. So I'm clicking end to go to the end of the line, new line, and I'm creating a new entry, a new string entry like this, and paste this new phrase, which represents the other word, which is the word is biller. Okay. So we have financial officer and we have biller. So I'll go back here. I pasted the new phrase. I'll save it. Now when I open the file, I am expecting one signature here as before, and new signature box aligned with this letter left bottom corner aligned with this right here. So let's check it out. Go back to documents, open with Concord. I have two signatures, one here, one here. Dare I say it? Exactly as predicted. So, one baby step, two baby step. Now I want to continue on. What I want to do is two things. One thing is to replace this with stamp box and not a signature box, because at the end my goal is to use the Concord stamper, and for Concord stamper I need it to be a stamp. So this is getting a little bit complicated, but just a little bit, and not really. So I'm closing this document, I'm closing Concord. I'm closing Concord each time just because I know I need to change the config file, and the Concord needs to be restarted later. So let's go back for a second to this document. Okay, this document is showing me here how I choose the characters. I convert it to Unicode and copying to Unicode inside this regex phrases here. Okay, and the next step, if I want to do some changes in this signature box, default signature box, I need to add properties. So for each entry here, I may have 3, 5, 10, 20 entries, I don't know. For each entry, I need to add in the app settings line with the number of the entry. This would be phrase 1 here, and this would be phrase 2. And here I will change the properties of the signature. The first property that I want to set is type S. S is not signature, S is stamp. So the first property, type S, should replace those signature boxes to stamps. So let's try it. I'm back at the configuration file of Concord. I'm Control-N, going to the end of the file where I have app settings. It's not so convenient not to have it in the same place, but this is the way it goes. So I'm writing here, add, key is phrase 1, and value is something. Okay, this is for the first phrase, and this is with this for the, right now it would be for the second phrase. I'll change it to phrase 2. Now what I want to do is to write type equals stamp on both phrases. Okay, I'll save it and baby steps check it. Going back, documents, run it with Concord, and I'm expecting to see 2 stamps objects. And I already can see here that I have stamp object instead of signature objects, and object 1, object 2. And so just if I click it, I can see the default stamp graphics that I have set for my Concord instance. So the next thing I want to do is to make a little bit offset. What I mean is I want the stamp not to be here, but to be, let's say, around here. Okay, I think it should be around here. So I want to move this corner from here to here. Let's say this is about 1 inch to the left and 1 inch to the top. Okay, 1 and 1. In PDFs, we measure from the left corner, from the bottom left corner. So this would, in every inch has 72 points, 72 measuring points in every inch in PDF. So I want to move it like, let's say 72 points to the left and 72 and half an inch, 1 inch left and half an inch up. So it will be like 31 points up. And about the same here, 1 inch to the left, half inch to the top. So let's go here. Let's see how I do it. Okay, here's the offset. I can also change the size. Here's the offset. So I will go here. I'll say comma offset. I want it to be to the left, minus 72, and the y-axis would be 31. Okay, let's do it again here. Same thing, offset to the left and to the top. I believe I did it right. Okay, restart. Let's try. Run it like this time. And open the... Okay. Okay, so it worked. The offset worked. I can change this one. Let's say the left one I want to do not full inch. Let's say instead of full inch, let's say here 60. And here I want to bring it a little bit down, just to be the second one. Let's say, I don't know, 22. Okay, pretty nice, pretty nice. Well, I have a little bit here playing, trial and error, but it came up pretty nice. Okay, the next thing I want to do is to add a name for each stamp. So the person or the job title of the person that will stamp this one is a financial officer, and this one is the biller. So I want to distinguish between those two stamps. So I'm going back here, and I know that the first one is NM is the name, is let's call him CFO, Chief Financial Officer. And for the second one, I name him, let's just call him biller. Okay. Currently, those changes will not be shown in Concord. So because Concord doesn't have in the stamps, doesn't have a branch for each signer as it does for the signatures. But when I'm using Stamper, when I'm using the Concord as a background stamper, I can send the parameter with the signer name, or more right to say the signer, the job description. So in each round, I will sign only one stamp. So, let's demonstrate how it works. I just close it, close Concord. And now I have this document, which this document already have in Concord the Regex settings to put a stamp here for the Chief Financial Officer and put a stamp here for biller. So let's try to use the Concord stamper to stamp it. Okay. Let's use SOAP UI. Okay, and I have right here the SOAP stamper service. I'll go into the WASDAL and then copy the URL. I'll go here, SOAP, paste the URL here, and SOAP will build me, SOAP UI will build me the methods that I can call. Okay, I have two methods here. I have the base64, which I will not use now. I will use the regular. This one is using path because I don't want to change to convert now to base64, so I just use this function. So let's go here, and I will make a copy because I want to demonstrate a few times. So I'll make a copy for this invoice after DocuPrint. I'll call it stamp all. Okay. And here I'll do another copy and I call it signer's rounds. Okay, let's take the first file. I will copy the path. I'll paste it here. Remove the quarter marks. I'll remove all question marks from the other parameter. I'm not using any parameter here beside the actual PDF. So what I'm expecting to happen, I'm expecting the PDF to be stamped in all the stamps area. Okay, all the stamps area here and here. I'll close it. I will not need to close it because I have a copy. I'm expecting one step here based on this text, and I'm expecting one stamp here based on this text, and with the default Concord stamp that we have seen just a moment ago. So let's pray. What have I done? Here, play. Running. I've got true. So let's go back to the documents. And I can see here is the original file for the 8K. I'll see here it's 104K. I will open it. Stamp all. And I can see two stamps based on the location that we choose with the offset, the default stamp. So this is for demonstration. This is not how we want to work with the BPM. We want to do rounds. So because we want to do rounds, we'll close this copy, and now I'll take this file and paste it as the PDF path to be signed, to be stamped. Remove quotation marks, and this time in the signer I will insert Chief Financial Officer, CFO, because I want in this round the Concord to stamp only. The Concord will find the word based on this Unicode, and will stamp only the CFO. The same name that appears here is sending. I'm sending here as a parameter. So I will stamp only the financial officer stamp. More of this. I don't want to stamp the default stamp because there is many financial officers, maybe 5 of them, and each one of them have a unique stamp, as a unique graphic with his name or his number, I don't know. Each one of them has its own stamp graphic. So I will send the image path as a parameter for this particular, for this same financial officer that actually running the process. I can know in the BPM or other system who he is, and he use his own stamp. So I'm just creating here. This is general CFO, but let's use it for now. Okay, in this demonstration, I'm showing the work of the actual API of the Mediator. So it expects image path, but as we talked, we will wrap it and we will expose only the parameters the way you want it. So instead of a PDF path, it will be base 64. Here it can also be base 64. You can provide me the file. You can provide me only the file name. You can provide me some number that I can do the link between the number and the actual stamp file, etc. So this is demonstration as I work exactly as the bottom API of the Concord, of the Mediator. So let's run it. Running, and I have true. Let's open the document around. Okay, this time it's bigger because the image file is a larger image file. Okay, and I can see only the financial officer stamp was stamped. Okay, so I'm closing the file here so it will not be occupied. And I'm going back here and I'm saying now I have a second round. And this time the biller is going to stamp the document, the same document, by the way, the same exact document. I'm not changing the path, I'm not copying. Again, it's the same document that already was stamped once by the CFO. Now it's going through round 2. And this time, I'm also taking the biller graphic stamp. And executing, I want to get here true. Give me true. All right. I have a true here. And size around. And now I have two digital signature, one for the CFO and one for the biller. And this concludes the example of how to use Regex to distinguish between stamper to position a stamp object based on words on the document, and how to use the Mediator stamper to stamp it. And this is it. Thanks for watching.